Announcements, non-papers, papers have been laid. Questions?
To ask Dr. the Honourable Minister of Health and Quality of Life whether he will state if he is aware that highly trained Mauritian specialist medical practitioners, having studied and qualified in France, encounter impediments to practice in Mauritius, thus preventing them from returning and offering their valuable services to the country, and if so, indicate if consideration will be given for the taking of urgent, appropriate remedial actions in relation thereto.
Madam Speaker, may I, in the first instance, for the information of the House, provide a brief definition of a specialist as per the Medical Council Act 2000 as subsequently amended. A postgraduate qualification in a medical specialty obtained from a medical institution after having followed a course of training of not less than 3 years and passed the appropriate exam pertaining to that particular course, or a postgraduate qualification in a medical specialty issued by a recognized professional body, or a recognized specific training in a sub-specialty undertaken after obtaining a qualification under paragraph A and B above, which I've just mentioned earlier. Madam Speaker, as per Section 23 of the Medical Council Act, as amended, a person shall be entitled to be registered as a specialist if he is registered as a general practitioner in Mauritius, hold a specialist qualification which is recognized by the Council acting after consultation with the Postgraduate Medical Education Board. As per Section 22 of the Council Act, to be registered as a general practitioner, the applicant should hold a diploma in medicine and establish to the satisfaction of the Council that he has undergone not less than 18 months practical, including clinical training in different medical specialties. Madam Speaker, furthermore, Section 24 of the Medical Council Act provides for pre-registration trainees that the Council may require a person applying for registration as a general practitioner under Section 21 to undergo such training as it may determine before registering him. Where a person who holds a diploma in medicine is required by the country or the medical institution where he is qualified to complete a course of training, without which he would not be eligible for registration as a medical practitioner in that country, he may be registered as a pre-registration trainee until he has completed such course of training in an institution approved by the Council. Madam Speaker, it is clear that any Mauritian general practitioner or specialist who wishes to practice in Mauritius has to satisfy the Council that he holds a required qualification, whether a diploma in medicine or a specialist qualification, and he has to produce evidence of any pre-registration training where he has completed a pre-registration training. Such provision of the Act is applicable to every Mauritian without any distinction. Whether you're qualified from India, Russia, or France, or any other country, you're subject to the same treatment under our prevailing legislation. Madam Speaker, I'm informed that any person holding a diploma or a degree in medicine has to undergo pre-registration training before being registered as a general practitioner, unless he has already undergone such training, obviously. For a specialist, the person has to register as a general practitioner first and then register as a specialist. For any Mauritian citizen who has undergone a specialist qualification abroad and who has worked for 3 years after registration can be registered as a general practitioner and as a specialist after going through the Postgraduate Medical Education Board, provided he has obtained the clinical experience to the satisfaction of the Council. For example, in France, the undergraduate course is of a duration of 6 years. That is the completion of the second cycle. Some students, after finishing the second cycle, they go directly to the troisième cycle, that is the specialist qualification, ranging from 3 to 5 years, but without undergoing any pre-registration training. If somebody returned to Mauritius from France with a postgraduate degree, and if he has covered the different specialties like medicine, general surgery, obstetric and gynae, the council would register him as a general practitioner. Then he would be referred to the postgraduate board to assess his experience and register him as a specialist eventually. But if somebody who has come with a postgraduate qualification but has not done training in clinical medicine, then the council may require him to do such training in clinical medicine as required by the council for him to be registered as a general practitioner. Then he will have, after going through the clinical training, he would have to sit for the MRE, which is a medical registration exam. Then he's registered as a general practitioner. And eventually, after he has been duly registered as a general practitioner, he will be referred to the postgraduate board to be considered as a specialist.
Madam Speaker, may I ask the Honourable Minister whether the Medical Council has not written him last year asking him for changes in the law to accommodate these French doctors?
I have not received any letter personally. Maybe it has come, I have not received any letter personally. But obviously, if I have sent it, I'm going to look into it.
And I asked the Honourable Minister whether one Dr. M, I will not say his name, wrote to him on the 20th of June 2018, pointing out the issues that are being raised in this House today, and that has not even responded to that letter, not even an acknowledgement from a specialist doctor coming from France.
I'm sorry, I don't even know the name of the doctor. It's a bit difficult for me to answer. Madam Speaker, I get so many letters. People write to me so many letters every day, and I must say it's a bit difficult for me to answer each and every letter.
Okay, even the Prime Minister of England responds to all the letters sent to him because they have staff to do so. And I'm sure you're not alone in the ministry. Madam Speaker, may I ask the Honourable Minister whether he's aware? I've inquired from the French Embassy, and they wrote to me last week that there are 350 medical students presently in France. Most of these will finish as specialists, and none of these will be able to register as doctors in Mauritius.
Madam Speaker, it's not that we don't want the specialists, the doctors who are trained in France, to come back to Mauritius. On the contrary, we would like those people who are so well trained to come back to Mauritius. But I have explained just now. I have just explained, but if you want, I'll explain it again. In Mauritius, after your undergraduate training, that is your 5 years, 6 years, you have to do your pre-registration years. Once you have, that is a pre-registration, which is 18 months in Mauritius. And that pre-registration, what does it consist of? The pre-registration training in Mauritius consists of doing 12 weeks in general medicine, plus 1 week in AIDS unit, 12 weeks in general surgery, 12 weeks in obs and gynae, 8 weeks in pediatrics, 6 weeks in orthopedics, 4 weeks in cardiology, 4 weeks in community medicine, 4 weeks in psychiatry, 2 weeks in ENT, 2 weeks in ophthalmology, 4 weeks in anesthesia and ICU, and 2 weeks in emergency, accident emergency. So as you see, this is a training. Now, if we get somebody who is coming from France, who is duly registered in France, and he's covered this, he will be registered in Mauritius. But if he's training, he has not covered this, we can't register him. He'll have to complete this and then apply, and then we'll consider how to proceed.
Speaker, what is the use of sending laureates and bouchers to France to study when afterwards they cannot come to Mauritius to register as doctors. Madam, one Suhail Ahmad Sultangos left for Mauritius last year, going to University de Bordeaux to specialize eventually, and will follow exactly the same course as Dr. M, who the Medical Council has refused from the same university to register in Mauritius. What is your reaction to that?
Well, firstly, Madam Speaker, I would like to say that we send the student our scholarship. The student has got scholarship to go overseas. Naturally, we would like for them to have a good training and to come back. Definitely, we want them to come back. We want to improve the care in our service. We want to upgrade the service. So there's no question about it. That's number one. Secondly, you just mentioned about Dr. M. I don't know who is Dr. M. If you let me know, maybe it's an I can answer. I don't know who you're talking about.
If you'd read your letters, you would find out who Dr. M was, but I will tell you later because I don't want to take it here. I will send it to you, and I hope you will read it, because he sent you the letter and I have a copy. And you should read it when you receive letters from people who may not be... Anyway, I will not talk about that. I'll ask the Honourable Minister whether he is saying to this House that specialist doctors, trained and practicing in one of the highest world-respected countries like France, practicing as specialists, cancerologue, neurologue, diabetes, all these really important specializations that we need in Mauritius. These doctors, and the embassy says 20 to 25 doctors a year of these highly trained specialists qualify in France, the most highly respected country in the world. They cannot come to practice here in Mauritius because they're not good enough. Is that what you're saying to the population?
No, Madam Speaker, I am not saying that. I am not saying that. No, not at all. I'm telling you, if they are registered in France, and they can apply to Mauritius, because for you to be registered in Mauritius, you have... let me finish, please. I ask you to give me the letter, whatever it is. Anyway, we have procedures. It's not that we don't want the doctors from France to come. We want them to come, but there are procedures we have to follow. If they have not done the training as we want them, we can't accept them. But if they have completed the training, they are welcome to apply, and the Medical Council would look at the qualification, and they'll be registered as a specialist. No, we are not refusing to anybody. If they are eligible, they apply to the council. They don't apply to me, they apply to the council, and the council will take care of that.
I'm shocked. Even the Medical Council in the press have asked for the law to be changed. Don't you even read the press? In the press, in Defi recently, the Medical Council asked for the law to be changed to accommodate because the law is badly drafted. We drafted the law in 2013. In 2017, in 2017, issues came up. Now it's been 3 years, and these doctors are suffering. And this has even been in the press.
Firstly, I don't go what's said in the press, number one. If I go according to what's said in some of the press, well, I won't do any work. That's number one. And, I mean, you said the law was drafted in 2013 when you were there yourself. It was wrongly drafted. It was badly drafted. Okay, I know since I came here about 3 years ago, we have been looking into it. We have been discussing about it. But it doesn't say that the government is not doing things. There's so many laws are coming. We have not closed the parliament for nine months. We have not done that. So many things are coming. So many things, so many laws are coming. So many bills are coming in this house. Now we have some priority bill. When we look after that, I'm sure we are going to come with a medical council bill. No, but I mean, this government has priority as well, which you have to understand.
He's changing his stance completely now. But being perfect, now he's going to bring the law at the eve of the election. Madam Speaker, I'll take the case, this is a public case, of one Dr. Vimal Ganes. He qualified in Germany. He is in Luxembourg as a neurologist. God knows, neurosurgeon, I presume it is, that we need these people. He's a fellow of the European Board of Neurological Surgery. It was in the press, 2017. This young lad could not be registered in Mauritius and left the country although it takes about 15 million rupees to qualify, it cost to his family, to himself, and to the state, no doubt. It has cost so much. This boy left Mauritius, could not practice, although he's a fellow of the European Board of Neurological Surgery. You are not aware of this case either?
I mean, from what I've been told just now, he's already registered as a specialist with a medical council.
That's good. I did not know about this one. But I'm sure, Madam Speaker, that it took him years and years, and articles like that which are indecent. And I will therefore raise also the question of this, of the doctor.
Order on this side, please. Yes.
Of this Dr. M, who has been refused the right to register, Madam Speaker. So, what I'm going to ask the Honourable Minister is this. We had, a few weeks ago, a change to the Medical Council Act, really, didn't we? No mention of this was made to register, to enable these foreign doctors from France, Mauritian doctors in France to register. No changes, although the law of Medical Council Act was changed only a few weeks ago. The Finance Bill changed 50 acts. The Business Facilitation Bill changed another 20 acts. And all these acts, you found no time to deal with the issue of 350 students who are qualifying as doctors in France.
I'll just explain. Premièrement, I've repeated, the leader of the opposition is going that we are trying to refuse people from coming to work in Mauritius. No, I mean, we should not, against the usual way, we should not say things that is not true. We say that if they are fully qualified, they write to the council, and the council is not controlled by me, it's an independent body. You write to them, they are going to be registered by the council. Once they are registered, I've said we would like to have qualified people here. Why on earth are we going to refuse them? We are not going to refuse them. But there's a process, there's a procedure to go through. In every country, even in France, you have procedures to follow. In Mauritius, we have procedures to follow. So everywhere you have this. They have to follow the procedures, and why not? We would like to get these people, if they're so well qualified, to come and work in Mauritius. We are not against that. We should not play on this kind of thing again. Mauritius would appreciate for them if they can come to Mauritius. We appreciate them, but there are procedures which we have to follow.
Madam Speaker, I repeat that even the Medical Council has in the press publicly and wrote to you to ask for changes to the Act. You have not seen the letter, you have not seen the press, you have not seen anything. Madam Speaker, exceptionally, I will table this letter from the Medical Council relating to Dr. Nitesh Musawa. He is, in fact, a specialist, having studied for 10 years in Bordeaux, in France. He's a boursier from the state of Mauritius. So we paid for part of his studies there. And this doctor, Madam Specialist doctor, has been refused the right to register, and they've asked him to go to a school for 1.5 years, although he's a specialist, to train under GPs in the hospital, and then take an exam and come again. Do you think this is normal? Madam Speaker, I'm going to put this is just an example. Even the French embassy concurs that there's a huge problem with all the students that are studying there. Open your eyes, open your ears, Minister. Listen to what I'm saying. It's a real problem. I'm tabling this letter.
I think the leader of the opposition should have to open his ears as well to what I'm saying. For that particular doctor.
You should be a little bit more courteous, leader of opposition. A little bit more courteous towards the minister.
For that particular doctor, when did he apply to Lord of Médecins in France to be registered? Because for you to come and work as a GP in Mauritius, you have, listen, but why did you not correct it? Why did you not correct it when you were here for 10 years? It's wrong. You were there for 10 years, you didn't correct it, and now you're blaming us, the usual.
Order. I said last time that when anybody had the floor, last time you had the floor and you had the legitimate right to be heard. And I think the minister also should have a fair hearing when he has the floor.
Madam Speaker, from what I was told, Dr Moussawa applied for registration to l'Ordre des médecins en France on the 2nd of February 2017. It's not 3 years yet. That's what I was told. I'm telling you the information what I was told. Okay, now listen please. I'll let you talk. Okay.
Calm down.
He applied to the Medical Council in Mauritius on the 21st of November 2017. For you to be registered in Mauritius, you have to be 3 years qualified, which he did not have 3 years qualified by the time. He did not have it according to the date of application. That's why he was not registered for 3 years in France. Only 9 months by the time he made his application. That's why I'm told he was not registered by the Medical Council. And that's why. Now, it's very important. I've explained earlier what pre-registration training is. You have to do training in medicine, surgery, obs and gynae, and different specialty. And Dr. Moussawa, he studied microbiology, which is not clinical medicine. That's why the fact that he has not done clinical medicine in his training, that's why the Medical Council tell him, look, we are prepared to accept you, but you have to complete the clinical periods that you have not done. That's what it was. That's all we ask. He's going to be registered, but obviously he'll have to consider, because according to the Medical Council, you have to do training in so many different branches. So I think we have to accept that.
Take the attitude of the Medical Council. Does the Minister know that his doctor applied in December 2017, and his case was only studied by the board of the Medical Council on the July 18th, 2018, 7 months later? Do you find it is normal to keep a doctor waiting 7 or 8 months before responding to him? You seem to know a lot. Do you know this?
If that's the case, I don't know that, but I'm going to take it up with the council, and I'm sure that's not acceptable, and I don't condone it as well. I'll take it up with the council.
You should know that because you are responding, Madam Speaker. Does the Honourable Minister know? Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister is talking to me. What can I do? I have to respond. I have to be polite and respond. Madam Speaker, I'm going to ask the Honourable Minister whether he is aware that this doctor can show proof that since 2016 he's registered as a medical specialist in France. Are you saying I'm saying I have seen information, documents that since 2016 this person is a medical specialist in France and cannot be registered in Mauritius.
I've given the dates that have been given by the council. That's number one. Secondly, I've just explained to you just now, for him to be recognized in Mauritius, he has to do not just microbiology, but he has to do clinical medicine. That's what I've said just now. I mean, that's what I've said, because he has not done that. That's why the council tell him, look, you have to complete so many months in these clinical specialties before you can be registered, which he has not done.
Madam Speaker, I will refer the Minister to Campus France. This is what they show as the curses in medicine. You will see clearly there that all medical students, all of them, in the first 6 years, firstly they study in a centre hospitalier universitaire. And so they have their internat there. After the 6 years, they have 4 years where they practice as doctors. And this is what I'm going to say. The students even issue, not the students, the junior doctors even issue prescriptions. It's here. What I'm asking the Honourable Minister, I'm not even trying to make a stupid political point, I'm just trying to make you understand. There are 350 medical students there. The Medical Council has publicly said the law needs to be changed. The French embassy is concerned about this issue. You have said, some mumble that something may happen before the next election because we still have time. I'm saying to you it is clearly wrong that medical specialists from Germany, from France, from the highest institutions in the world have trouble, have issues, have problems qualifying, practicing in Mauritius, when we need people to look after cancer, diabetes, renal problems, and all these issues. So all I want from you today is to tell me that you will come up with a change in the law to make sure that this, which is the topmost qualification in the world, is recognized as it should be here in Mauritius.
I think the leader of the opposition is confused again. What you just said, what you have just said just now, is that you have done training in general medicine, general surgery as a student. All university, you will be training in general medicine and general surgery as a student. But he has not done the internat where it's different. The training is different from a student, and internat c'est différent. That's what we are trying to tell you, which don't make the difference. You're not making the difference. As a student, it's different. As an internat, it's different. That's what we are telling you. And I can assure the House, Madam, we in Mauritius, we are working to improve the quality of care. We are doing a lot. And we are not going to prevent doctors from coming to Mauritius. We may shake your head or whatever, but we know what we are doing. But we are doing. We are working in that direction. You're trying to blame us as usual. You have not done anything for the last 3 years. But what I can't understand when people talk like that, they've been there for 10 years. Did they know the problems? There were doctors in France, in Germany for 10 years. He just mentioned for 10 years they were there. Did you not know about them? What have you done for 10 years? You didn't do anything. But now we have to do it immediately. Just on the eve of the election, I have to change. I have to come with a bill. No, you have to be, be fair. Ad hoc, just be fair. Don't blame. Just don't blame. It's not for you to talk to me, please. Okay?
Thierry Henry?
Yeah. You address to me like that.
Please, order. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And we know our responsibility, Madam Speaker. We are working in that direction. It's not what I can't understand, Madam Speaker. People been so many years in the service as ministers, they have not done anything. Now, everything might not the truth too much. Now, I don't know what happened before. Now, exactly. Now they are seeing the problem. Before what? For 10 years they did not see the problem? What did they do for so many years? They did not do nothing. But now, suddenly, they'll come to criticize. When we are working, when they did not do anything, now they come and criticize us. No, I don't think it's that fair.
Madam Speaker,
you have 3 minutes more.
Yes,
If you want, you can leave the floor to others
if
you
they
want.
wish, yes. It's more than enough 3 minutes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm trying to explain to the Minister that this problem arose in 2017, not 10 years ago. Before that, all these doctors, Dr. Juma and all that, qualified in Mauritius and practiced. He's not trying to, he doesn't understand the situation. No. So this is one thing. And secondly, this is recent thing. Recent 2 and 3 years, and he has slept on the file. I don't know what he does with the file. Madam Speaker, this is what Campus France says. These junior doctors are considered doctors and are authorized to prescribe medication. And they are paid a salary of 80,000 rupees, I'm converting, per month when they work as doctors. And do you think in France they would allow these doctors to issue prescriptions comme si ce sont des charlatans? And here it is Dr. Husnoo, whoever is going to tell us that these highly qualified specialists are not in fact doctors. I will table this, you read it.
You can table whatever you want. We are not saying that to qualified doctors, but there are rules. Let me say, law was not changed in 2017. The law was amended in 2000. 2000, exactly, was amended. Medical Council Bill. Medical Council Bill was amended in 2000. So you don't, what I'm saying is that a lot of doctors who are trained, in France are working in Mauritius. I've got a long list of doctors who are trained, and even now we are sending doctors to France to be trained in France. Now we have a specialist in France. Non, est pas bon pour toi. Comme d'habitude, non, est pas bon. Madam Speaker, we have so many doctors. We have so many doctors who have been trained in France who are working in Mauritius. We have sent doctors last year to be trained in France. Now they can't be. We send them We send them.
He has the floor.
Madam Speaker, the ministry, Madam Speaker, the ministry sends these doctors to be trained in France only last year. If we did not recognize this degree, why would we send our doctors to be trained there? Why would we send? We send them, they are coming. Why? Because they have done their pre-registration, we have sent them for further training, and they'll be coming. We recognize their degree. We recognize their qualification. So, to come and say that we didn't recognize is just a load of...
Time is over.
One last question. I need to make this...
Questions. Time is over. Honorable Leader of Opposition. I don't think I'll give extra time because I have said several times that questions also should be brief and the same for answers. However, I have noticed and I have observed several times that in asking questions, lengthy statements are made, thus taking the time of the House. So time is over. Honorable Amia, you have a point of order.
Yes, because in the last reply, Madam Speaker, he's talking about doctors being sent to France for training. We're not talking about doctors. We're talking about students being sent to training.
I'm not going to allow this. I have said time is over.